All right. Last big news that I want to kind of briefly touch on.
Yes. Ooh, the tone has shifted.
Yes. Because if I don't talk about it, that's like me talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I have to address it. So the rumor is, not rumor, Petapixel has posted it. Nikon Rumors has posted it. The facts are that the rumor says
Yes.
that the number has officially come out.
Yes.
That Nikon acquired Red for.
Yes.
You know the number?
Yeah. $8.5 billion. In our hearts. In our hearts. In our hearts.
Oh, bro, you got me.
I might be asking for some of that bag. If it's that
I
large.
deserve some of it. If it's 8.5, I've sold a few Komodos. I know for a fact I sold a few Komodos.
Let me get a little sliver.
I just want a piece. I want a fraction of a fraction.
I will have a fraction of a fraction.
I want a fraction of a fraction. No. So
have you guys heard this news? Like, it literally, Nikon just released their financial statements.
No, Nikon didn't release their financials.
They didn't? That's what it said.
Is it official? Because I feel like it's rumor.
No. I saw, fake news is all over the internet.
Constantly.
But in the article, it showed that they released their Q4, Q1 financial statements. And there was a line item. So don't be mad at me. Be mad at Petapixel or whoever. That it said that that's what they were required for. So, that's how they find out.
So the number is
85 million.
85 million.
Mm-hmm.
What I found more interesting was that what they said their plans were with the actual Red system. And they did mention that they would like to bring the Z mount.
You know what their news felt like? It felt like very much we're not going to rock the boat.
That's what I was most excited about because they said that, but then also it stated that they were comfortable with the RF mount on there. And Canon basically commented and said, yeah, we're cool with that too.
We rejoice.
Yep, I'm sure they do.
Well, more than even Canon, Komodo users rejoice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really interesting that we actually finally got some, like I mentioned before, we don't know or we haven't known what was going to come of all this Nikon Red stuff. Yep. But I feel like now we're starting to get a better picture. And speaking of pictures, ironically, you and I got a chance to not only meet Jarrett at NAB, but we also got a chance to meet the new CEO of Nikon.
Yes.
I'm sorry, the new CEO of Red from Nikon.
Yes.
And it feels like right now, they're not just like, Nikon's not just going in there and just blowing up everything and saying, all right, this is Nikon now. Like, they're still letting some of that Red DNA sit.
Yeah.
So we know we have some people in here and who are Red shooters or who care about Red or who aspire to one day shoot on Red. But it's nice to see that it feels like Nikon's stepping into the room. Yeah, we want to make some changes. Of course, they're going to want to put their Z mount on one of the cameras. I think we all pretty much saw that coming. But they're also saying like, hey, we're comfortable with the RF mount on the cameras as are. And that must mean that hopefully we'll continue to see as Canon drops new lenses, those lenses will get firmware update, or the cameras will get firmware updates to work with those lenses for autofocus and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy personally. Nothing has like shocked me too much.
Yeah.
Other than maybe that price. I was a little shocked about the price.
Because we all know who has the best glass.
You know what? Not going to argue. I'm not going to argue. If we're talking about the main three.
Say my name, say my name. When no one is around you, say, baby, I love you. Tell me, who has the best glass?
I think Canon has the most interesting glass right now. I will use the word interesting.
We'll find a way to weave Canon into this Nikon Red.
Good night. You're not even kidding. Anytime you are here, we are immediately.
RF. Now, who knows anything? If 1,000% honest in talking to them, they are years away from an actual released product.
Right.
I think a mount would be easier to come out with sooner. I mean, I'm not an engineer.
I'm going to be 100%. I think if you release a Red camera right now with the Z mount on it, it's not going to sell.
Hot.
It's not hot. I don't think it's a hot take. Here's the thing. Nikon just doesn't have I don't think enough lenses that are
I can see
video focused.
Gotcha.
So if you're asking me, do I buy a red with an RF mount or a Z mount today? Because I know Nikon will probably watch this at some point. This is me talking to you, Nikon, for a second. We need lenses.
Educate me. The Z mount. How old is that?
I mean, since they moved into mirrorless, so I would say like maybe 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Not too old.
Now, Canon has a ton of gaps. I feel like we still don't have a 35 1.4.
Right.
What are we talking about?
So
what gaps are in the Z?
It's not necessarily the quality of lenses or the fact they don't have a lot of lenses. It's just that I believe that when you look at the RF mount, because you have an RF to EF adapter and there are so many of those that already exist, that unlocks so many possibilities to hop into every single EF lens that's ever been created. You also have RF to PL, and there's so many accessories for that already. If you came out with a red camera now with a Z mount, there are Z to PL adapters, but there are no like that fit to the actual camera itself because just no one has done that.
Yeah.
On top of that, you have a ton of lens manufacturers who have been making RF lenses. Our IRIX set that we have, all RF, right? A lot of the lens manufacturers made RF lenses because not only did Canon have their RF cameras, but then Red obviously adopted it. And so they wanted to make lenses that would work natively.
Yeah.
So there's just not as many third-party Z-mount lenses, Z-mount cinema lenses on the market yet.
Yeah.
So that doesn't say that it wouldn't come or that it wouldn't be immediate, but like I think
I feel like it's coming, but in time.
What I would like to see happen is Nikon go back to their when they used to release Nikkor lenses. Because Nikon actually has some beautiful Nikkor lenses that get used on like feature films. They need to figure out how to rehouse those with a Z mount and bring some of that old school Nikon Nikkor character to the cinema world. Then give me a Z mount red. Now we're cooking.
Yeah, no, it's very rare that a specific photo will stay in my brain. But I had a friend back in college, Nikon D3, and was on an 85 1.2, and holy crap, their lenses there's something different. Like the bokeh, it's just different. And so anyways, with that being said, I love their lenses, and I think that's a great idea.
Now, here's something Cam makes this point, and I actually have this adapter over there in the drawer, but he says he'd be excited for a Z mount because there is a Z to E adapter, and it makes autofocus work as well, and I actually have it in there. So you could technically, this would be so wild. You'd have a red camera with a Nikon Z mount on it with an adapter shooting Sony E-mount lenses.
The autofocus is so it's imperceptible.
It was
imperceptible.
Great. But that was on a Nikon camera that we based that on. So
yes.
But I thought that Cam makes a really good point. That's absolutely something that could be done. Scott says Z mount is the pinnacle, adapts to everything. I feel like you could be right there because with what we talked about, the only thing it wouldn't adapt to would be RF mounts. The Z mount, if you did have a Z mount, you could have Z mount lenses, you could have E mount lenses, and then you could go Z to EF, and you could go Z to PL. The only thing is, it's just not very many cinema Z mount lenses yet, but could technically adapt to just about anything. So maybe if Red and Nikon get comfortable with adapting lots of different lenses, it could be the mount that lets you really use whatever. And then they're like, the entire world of lenses minus RF lenses are at your disposal.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Could be.